Star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. I'm within this symbolic gesture in the state of New York. I purchased Trident gum this morning. They still took the 3 silver coins. One is named a nickel. It gets its own special name. So the economy is still accepting for goods and services coin, being this color, silver, and on that I'm already a time piece and a time feature, being that the first constellation star child was whatever, as disruptive as it was timed with some acknowledgement by the humans, the earthlings, the New York people, the locals, the UPC, the IPC of Y2K. Then there was whatever there was. And then at the last child, with the constellation in their eyes, there was another, I don't know if you call it campaign, but acknowledgement by the humans, the earthlings, the New Yorkers in the New York area, of the Mayan calendar. So there's a timing significance to my nucleotide, my nuclear appearance. They call it nuclear family, like a nucleus. The nucleus of the cell is an important packaging apparatus at molecular biology. Again, I haven't studied that in depth, just enough to try to keep myself safe while I'm here. However, being that I have a mother star, mitochondrial DNA I share with my mother. She's my mother star, Linda, and I am from her giving tree. She had me, and her and I have a special relationship, I suppose, for nuclear family timing. She was watching something called ER, which is emergency room. I can't sit through the whole thing. It makes, between the beepings of the monitors, the police sirens and ambulance sirens, it is giving me such high amounts of anxiety right now. But she just watches it with like a deaf ear to the whole thing. But anyway, there was on the scene, I don't know episode or whatever for reference, but there was, when I went to nursing school, they referred to it as, I believe, dwarfism. There was an example of it on this particular show. He had dressed himself up as a elf for Santa in this one episode, and he was rushed into the emergency room, and he kept screaming, "I have fats, I have fats, I have fats, I have fats, I have fats." So, of course, for me, I'm like, what is fats? So I went fetch, Fetch, and I found not only a static blurb, but I found a video that I've never seen before, which scared the absolute heck out of me, that in remote learning services, they are teaching this level of science to just anybody that can tune in. That's a really scary thought because of other biological attacks that I've suffered from while being held in New York. Unbeknownst, it was never announced to me. I didn't know how to keep myself safe. I still don't. But it is, I didn't take a picture of the video or any of the words in the video in relation to this one symbolic picture that just has some letters and some high scientific reference that I was never taught in, not in elementary school, not in junior high, not in high school, not in college. I did not have access. I don't know the name of the industry, the name of the area of study. I don't know the name of the profession that you then try to pursue thereafter. None of that has been taught to me, which I'm all right with, as long as I find it interesting, but only to a certain point, and then I zone out. It's kind of like self-protection, I suppose. I needed to fetch, but not too far. And so I put up the unsymbolic, like a professional would know what the symbol means. I don't need to actually acknowledge the whole thing because I don't want it retraceable and trackable and studyable and that sort of thing, considering that it ties into part of whatever it is in larger schematic that people have learned while I have been trying to protect myself and the children that I did have, but in a universal speak. That's what I said to the firemen tonight, the FDNY. I said, in your FDNY, I was like, I just found out by accident on the television that you had an international fire code. I was like, so that's why I alerted NYPD to the statute that I'm really concerned about as a citizen that only found it out after the fact. And he was the one who alerted me that it was actually City Hall, so he must have known more about it. But in universal way, there was no way for me to know because there was no communication method. However, my mother star said that it was all over TV and radio. I said, Linda, am I only have access to the TV when you're not using it. I was like, or like walking back and forth in and out of the house. I was like, the times that I was in front of the TV, the timing was off. It just wasn't on. I've been making sample notes of what I've been exposed to, and I never even heard about it. She said, well, it happened like a year and a half ago. I was like, a year and a half ago? I was like, well, the actual removal now is really concerning. So, and then I tried also to have a conversation with what was in the dining room tonight. The lawyer said that I could speak to Anthony, which I did not realize, but I had her permission. So I spoke with him at the dinner table, and I said, I alerted him about what I had discovered about them removing it and about National Monument. It's still someone on the coin minted currency that's accepted. It seems like it would be an attack on the money system, kind of, sort of, in a symbolic gesture. Like, that's the governor. Like, you don't have, your founding father can't be everywhere at once, but symbolically, he should be in City Hall, attending or looking over or having a look over before things are finalized in City Hall, even though he might be seated somewhere else at the moment, but there's still that symbolic in our system, so things don't get out of ratio and out of proportion and become a larger concern for others that were not able to attend or are not able to keep an eye on everywhere at all times. My parents in the baby boomer generation did not seem to see the concern at all. And Anthony, while he listened and he was 1975, Anthony, he had kind of acknowledged it. He went off on a tangent, which I had to stop him. I was like, no, see, that's what happens. I was like, rather than following the actual thought pattern and where I'm trying to stay at the moment to have an intellectual conversation, I was like, you're taking it off course and throwing in dead end and trigger arguments that then are not helpful in actually the safety and protection of my son, the one born in 2012. So he just politely left the table, and I stayed at the table. and then finished whatever I was doing, and then I left. I'm not confrontational. I don't like confrontation at all. I'm just more of a scaredy cat than anything. But when I see something, I don't know how to protect myself. I don't. This is all I got at this point. Star 1978, Star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza. It's Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, Galaxy is broken, and I'm in Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361.